Dusty May, the coach at Florida Atlantic. This is the guy, somebody in the mid. He's from Indiana. He was a Bob Knight manager. We have Louisville open. We have Ohio State potentially open. And then there's Michigan, which could open. And then you have this guy who's absolutely crushing it at Florida Atlantic, of all places, who happens to be out of the Midwest coaching factory, right? Who gets him, Pat?
Definitely, I think Ohio State and Louisville have interest. I would imagine if Michigan opens, they would have interest. And there's a lot of angst with Indiana fans who are like, why are we keeping Mike Woodson if it could cost us Dusty May? They want Dusty May after taking Florida freaking Atlantic to the Final Four and then turning around going 24-7 after upgrading leagues this year into the American Athletic Conference. He is proving himself, and the Indiana fans are like ill at the thought of him going to either a Big Ten rival or Louisville 100 miles down the road. Dusty has his suitors for sure.
Good to be Dusty.
Good to be Dusty. Louisville's trying to take some big swings. They're, Scott Drew, they want to talk to Scott Drew maybe and try to throw the moon at him. I still don't think Scott Drew is going to leave Baylor. He has built something there that seemed impossible. There's even been some blue sky talk about trying to get Billy Donovan if he gets fired with the Bulls, but that's also something where you'd have to wait until who knows when. You want my prediction? Dusty May to Ohio State. Josh Schertz from Indiana State to Louisville. And I don't know what Michigan's going to do. We'll see if Michigan wants in on the carousel, and they better do it quickly because other people are laying groundwork.
What's a better basketball job, Ohio State or Louisville?
That's a great question. I think Louisville is. Louisville cares about basketball. Louisville is a basketball school with a 22,000-seat arena that they will fill when times are good. Now, Louisville right now financially is not in great shape. Ohio State, at least in theory and seemingly according to the balance sheet, has more money than God. It is good to be Dusty May, though, Dan. He's going to have options.
For a fan of the pod, right?
Dusty last year at the Final Four, I grabbed him after he got off the podium, and he said, "Hey, you said Pat Forde from Sports Illustrated. Why don't you just say Pat Forde from the pod?"